Hey guys, so I did a bookshelf tour probably over a year ago, probably a year and a half ago, and I did it when I was in a really weird time of my life. So I don't know why I decided to film that video because I was not ready to film that video at all, and I was mid-moving house and I just don't know why I did it, but I had the same bookshelf, very different books, a lot of empty space, because I did a declutter today. That'll probably be the video that I posted before this one, but I'm filming this one. So that video's probably up, my declutter. I've done multiple declutters, but this one was like a bigger one. So it doesn't include every single book I got rid of, but if you just compare from my last book collection video to now, you'll obviously see the difference. And that's really it. So I'm just gonna go over the books that I have. This is, a lot of this might leave. I don't know, but we'll kind of see. That top bookshelf is really not like my vibe anymore. I'm not really into fantasy anymore. I don't know, it's just not something I read much of anymore, but I still have quite a few books. So let's actually, this is like a mumble jumble as well. So we have Paris Hilton's memoir, which is Paris the Memoir, and we have I'm Glad My Mom Died, which I originally listened to on audio on Audible because I couldn't find it physically anywhere else because it was literally sold out, and then I recently found it because I want to read it again physically and annotate it. It's an amazing book by Jeanette McCurdy about her toxic relationship with her mum and toxic relationship with Hollywood. I have a hair on my face, as I always do. Bitch by Lucy Cook, which is a revolutionary guide to sex, evolution and the female animal. We have The Right to Sex by Amir Srinivasan. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Once again, just another like non-fiction book. Then we have the Cruel Prince trilogy. We have Cruel Prince, The Wicked King, and The Queen of Nothing. I still haven't read this. This is why these books are on the chopping block. I haven't gone around to these in a few years. Chances are I won't, but I want to. I've obviously read The Shadow and Bone. I had the whole trilogy, the Siege and Storm and Rise and something, but the other ones are not in this collector's edition except for this one. This is the Shadow and Bone one, and I want all of mine in this edition. I don't want the other one, and this is the collector's edition, and they still haven't come out with the other two in the collector's edition, and it has the sprayed edges. I don't know if they will, so I might just never buy them, but I want them in this edition because it looks like these when you take off the sleeves. Oh, did they not have sleeves? This one had a sleeve. These two didn't. So I also took the sleeve of this one because then I think they match. And by that I mean the Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdoms. They also have sprayed edges, black and red. I wish this one had gold sprayed edges instead of black. I don't know. I'm gonna say something real controversial. I still haven't read these, even though these are apparently better than the Six of Crows. So I should probably get around to these. I still haven't. I would definitely keep these. I will not be getting rid of them. They're not on the chopping block. We have King of Scars, and there's obviously two parts of this. There's King of Scars, and then there's another one that I still haven't bought. I took the sleeve off this one. It's just a gold sleeve. I'm throwing this away today. I kept it for whatever reason. I think it looks better and it matches when it's just like this. I also have the Ninth House, and I know she came out with one after that, so this is now a duology. I don't know why that almost didn't come out. Still haven't read this, heard good things. I have Cersei, still haven't read it. This is why this top shelf is on the chopping block. These were really popular books once upon a time on BookTube, and I just don't really hear much about them anymore. I have the Illuminae files, Illuminae, Gemina, and Obsidio, which are kind of interesting in the sense that, like, first of all, the sleeve is plastic, as you can see my ring light. And it's this like really weirdly written book, which is just full of like non-traditionally written story. And I think that would be easy to read if I could be bothered to. But I just keep on buying new books that I'm more interested in reading. That's why this fiction fantasy area has been left behind. I think I used to be really obsessed with fantasy when I first started watching BookTube because fantasy was all the rave on BookTube. Now it's romance because of Big Book Talk. And I think I started reading just more romance, and I just didn't end up getting around to my fantasies. I have Sorcery of Thorns, which I heard is really, really good. It was on the chopping block today, but I kept it because people do say that this is an amazing book. Something about a library. It's like it's a fantasy book about a library and books, and I think that's kind of cool. So I'll Keep that around for when I'm feeling fantasy. I have The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, which is a limited collector's edition. I showed it last time. It's in this plastic sleeve because it's got these cutout paper, like it's paper on top of paper, and it's obviously gonna rip. And it's got a collection of different Sherlock Holmes stories, and this is book 8,794 out of 10,000, which I think is actually quite cool. And this is the spring edition. And yeah, it's just got a bunch of different Sherlock stories. Kiss of Deception. I actually thought I got rid of this recently and someone recommended this again. This is book 1. There's obviously more books. I only have this one and I still haven't read it. Apparently it's really good. It's got like a plot twist at the end that no one expects or whatever. But there is a bit of romance in this, I'm pretty sure. So I might give this a go at some point. I'm going to say that about every single one of these books at the top. Why are my books moving? I love to snugly fit books together, so then taking them off is an issue. I've got Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is the Penguin Classics edition, which is my favorite look. You can usually get these from like Daunt or Waterstones, any of the kind of more high-end bookshops. And yeah, it's just beautiful. It's got this like canvas on the outside. I do want to read it at some point. Reading classics is really not my vibe. I'm not even going to sit here and be like, oh my god, I love reading classics. I'm so intelligent. Oh, no. Like, sometimes I just don't. I cannot be bothered to read classics. But might give this one a go at some point. And I also have, this is another BookTube book talk fave, The House in the Cerulean Sea. It's supposed to be kind of like a YA fantasy, kind of even like lower grade than that, but everyone loves it. Apparently it's super like cute. It's about this like house full of like quirky children, and apparently it's supposed to like melt your heart. So I'm looking forward to having my heart melted, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I ended up emptying a bunch of books out, so now I have basically all of this empty space. I can buy more books because I got rid of a bunch of books that I'm never gonna read, is what I've decided today. If I haven't read them in 2 years, I'm just not going to read them. That's the tea and the shade. So this is my literary fiction. It includes some romance, but some of these romances are more like, the book is about a romance, but it isn't exclusively about romance, and it includes a bunch of different things, and I think it's written in a way that makes it fit into this group rather than romance down bottom up. I was going to move my camera to show you guys, but no. For example, Emily Henry, I think she writes more books that belong with, for example, Taylor Jenkins Reid rather than Colleen Hoover or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, that was a comparison of sorts. Please don't watch my nails. They are disgusting because I haven't done them in a minute. Focus. Anyway, so here we have Convenience Store Woman by Sayaka Murata. It's a short little book. I actually bought this recently because I thought it looked really cool, and then I realized I already got it on Kindle for 99p. So I don't know why I bought it again, but I think this looks really pretty, so I don't regret it too much, and this will just be a cute little short read. I thought it looked nice, and it's about this 36-year-old who's never had a boyfriend, and she's been working in the same convenience store for 18 years, and everyone's like, please find a new job, find yourself a boyfriend, grow up. And she's like, no one knows why I work here. So it sounded really good. I don't know. Some Sally Rooney's. I have Normal People, Conversations with Friends, and Beautiful World, Where Are You? Which I've only read Normal People and I loved it. I haven't read Conversations with Friends or Beautiful World, Where Are You? I've had mixed opinions about all three, but because I liked Normal People, I have a feeling I'm gonna like the other two. I don't know. I also have Margaret Atwood, The Handmaid's Tale. I've never seen the TV show. Apparently it's heartbreaking, but the book is also going to be heartbreaking, so I'm just going to read that and hope I don't cry. Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis. I've got the nice cover, the one that's like 4 different primary colours. I really like that one. Heard great things. It's kind of like a historical fiction about a woman who is very intelligent, but due to misogyny she can't pursue the job that she wants to pursue. So instead of pursuing chemistries, she is doing a kind of cooking show on TV to teach people to cook, but she includes a little bit of science in it, and it kind of goes from there, so it sounds pretty interesting. I don't know. Eleanor Oliphant is completely fine. This used to be massive on BookTube, and now it's massive on TikTok, and it was on one of the tables in Waterstones under like Sad Girl Summer, so I got it. On the same table we had Cleopatra and Frankenstein by Coco Mellers, which is kind of like a depiction of like a kind of toxic relationship, age gap. It's not supposed to be like romance, it's supposed to be like a sad book. I don't know. My head looks massive when I do this. Obviously it's because I'm zoomed in, but it also just looks really round. as it always does. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Ang. I've heard great things. The blurb sounded amazing. I will read. It's about like a suburban town. I think that gave me like a really cool vibe that they moved into a suburban town, and I feel like nothing good happens like that. We have My Year of Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh. Heard very mixed reactions. Some people hate books like this, some people love books like this. I love books where you have an unlikable character, because I don't like the book because I like the character. I like the book because it's a bad character written really well, and I hope that's what's going to happen here. Milk Teeth by Jessica Andrews. How to Stop Time by Matt Haig. He also wrote The Midnight Library, which mixed reviews. I actually personally really liked it, but it was quite a simple concept. I think this will be quite simple as well. No offense. Emily Henry, Happy Place. This is what I meant by... Emily Henry is a romance writer, but she also includes stuff in her books that isn't just romance, and she develops characters really well, settings really well, ideas really well. You get what I'm trying to pass. This one, it was actually recommended by Colleen Hoover though, and Taylor Jenkins Reid. So all the authors that I mentioned. This one is an ombre sprayed edge. This is a Waterstones edition, I'm pretty sure, or like a something of that sort. I've heard great things. It's a romance again, but it actually focuses on kind of like a dysfunctional friendship group during the summer, so I bet I'll love that. Now we also have Taylor Jenkins Reid Malibu Rising, which I did not read, but I did read Daisy Jones and the Six recently on my Kindle because it was really cheap on the Kindle, so I got it so I could easily get through it. Amazing book, 10 out of 10 would recommend. You feel like you're reading about an actual real band full of unlikable characters again, but like unlikable characters written really well, which is something Taylor Jenkins Reid is really good at. It's flawed characters written really well, so you actually have sympathy for them. We have Beach Read by Emily Henry, read that. Didn't read You and Me on Vacation yet. I'll get to it. These four by Taylor Jenkins Reid I have not read, and I'm also missing The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which was the first Taylor Jenkins Reid book I read because of BookTube, but I just got rid of it. It's in my declutter because I want the edition that is the same as these four instead of the first edition that I bought when the book first came out, which is slightly bigger, like slightly taller and just weird texture. So I want it like this, and I just ordered it today in this edition, so I'll have it. You know what I mean? It will fit. So this will be filled by Taylor Jenkins Reid. So we have Forever Interrupted, Carrie Sutter's Back, Maybe in Another Life, and One True Loves. I have nothing to say about these books because I haven't read them yet, but I will. I have Deborah Levy, The Cost of Living. She has a 3-part kind of autobiography written in 3 books. You can read them apparently out of order is what the woman at the bookshop said, but she said this one was her favourite one, so I got this one to start off with. This is book number 2. And yeah, it's just like a beautiful, cute, short autobiography type thing about what she's learned about life. We have Flights by Olga Tokarczuk, which is a Polish author, Polish like me. I'm currently reading the Plow one, The Plows Through Bodies Something Something. It's a very long title. I'm reading it right now and I'm about halfway through. It's really good. So I decided to get Flights as well. Such a long book. The School for Good Mothers sounded really good. I looked at it like twice when I went to my local bookshop, so I got it on like the 3rd time. You have The Virgin Suicides. These virgins committed suicide. No one knows why. We'll find out. The New Me by Hailey Butler. Once again, another unlikable character. Kind of like My Year of Rest and Relaxation and Milk Teeth. So I love reading about a flawed character. Give me a flaw. I don't want perfect. I want flawed. Romance books. Once again, gap, because I've gotten rid of a bunch of stuff, so I was able to move things around. We have the Colleen Hoover. This right here is kind of like TikTok / toxic / like, some would say poorly written, some would say guilty pleasure. I don't know. I would just say books that I really like. We have Ugly Love, It Ends With Us, Verity, Regretting You. I've read all of these except for Regretting You. Then we have Vicious and Pretty Reckless by LJ Shen, which is the first book in each one of her series. I'll read them and I'll see if I want to buy more. Then we have Elle Kennedy's whole Briar U Off-Campus series. I've read Off-Campus 1, 2, 3, 4. I've read The Legacy, but I haven't started Briar U yet. Didn't read these 4, which is a whole separate like group of characters. We have It Starts With Us, which is obviously for It Ends With Us. We have Anna and the French Kiss, which is another collector's edition. I actually read this whole trilogy at the beginning of kind of my reading career, and I know it's super toxic. People are like, oh my god, there's cheating, there's this. Once again, I don't care about flawed characters. I don't care. I don't get influenced to cheat just because someone in a book cheats. I personally really liked the first one. It was such a guilty read for me, and I got it in the collector's edition, but I got rid of the other 2 books because they didn't have a collector's edition and I didn't care for them as much as this one. So this one has sprayed edges. They're quite nice. I don't know. I'm not going to explain myself. We have The Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas. I've read another Penelope Douglas book. I don't know where it is. I probably got rid of it. Oh, Punk 57. I liked it, but not liked it enough to keep it, so I sold it. Every Summer After, which I want to read desperately because it gives me, well, we're almost at the end of summer now, so I want to kind of get it in before the summer ends. It's 5 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart. It's about kind of like going home, and it's like a kind of second, third, fourth, fifth chance romance kind of a thing, and it's real floppy, which is nice. This section here we have the fine print, terms and conditions, final offer by Lauren Asher. I've tried a different book by her called like the Throttled series. I thought it was really cringe. The first book was really cringe, so I just left it. I'm not touching that again. I'm actually selling it. It's in my declutter. But I read like 20% of this one, the fine print, and I thought it was fine. So I'll just read this series. I think it'll be okay. We have With Love from Cold World by Alicia Thompson. It sounds good. It's kind of like a small town romance in like a festival type thing. Cool. Funny you should ask. I actually have no idea what this one's about. But I got it because I liked the cover of it. We have Beach Rivals. The cover looks very similar to Emily Henry's books. I guess that's what they were going for stylistically. Where is it? Stylistically. And it sounds good enough. It's about like 2 rivals and they fall in love. It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. Tessa Bailey writes pretty TikTok-y books. Then we have Elle Kennedy. I love Elle Kennedy. She wrote Good Girl Complex and Bad Girl Reputation, which these got some mixed reactions. Sounds like something I'll really like though. The Roughest Draft, it's about an ex-couple that have to write a book together because their contract said so. So they're writing like a romance together, and obviously they're going to fall in love because that's what happens. The Girl Who Used to Know. This was on the chopping block, but I heard some good reviews, so I ended up keeping it. And Out of Love by Hazel Hayes, which is basically you start the book in love, and then throughout the book you progress to them breaking up and finding out why they broke up, instead of the other way around, which is where like you meet and then fall in love. This is going from falling in love to breaking up. So that's the romance section done. Harry Potter Illustrated Editions 1 through 5, which is all that's come out yet, even though we know that there are, these are obviously the first ones I bought and read. Actually, the first ones I bought and read were the paperback versions of this edition, and then I've got the hardbacks because the paperbacks got completely damaged because of me reading them. So I got these, and then I ended up getting these because they're the illustrated editions. I don't know, this looks quite pretty though. Then we have some mysteries, and mysteries kind of down here below where you can't see, my hand's pointing down. So we have The 7 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. The Bay, I actually read this. It's set in Australia. It was kind of a fun read. It was kind of confusing. Hello, focus on me. But it was fun. It was fun and fresh. It kept you on your toes. It's just like a typical thriller. Like there is just something about thrillers where I'm like, keep your standards low, but just like enjoy the ride. The Sanctuary, can't wait to read it, and The Cove, can't wait to read it. I love these kind of summertime thrillers. Then we have kind of a Sherlock Holmes retelling with the children, like nieces and like basically descendants of Sherlock and the whole bunch of people. So we have Studying Charlotte, The Loss of August, Case of Jamie, and A Question of Holmes. This is definitely a YA series, so if you're an adult you might find this quite cringe, but I flew through this when I was YA age. Then we have the Truly Devious series, which is Truly Devious, The Vanishing Stair, Hand on the Wall, Box in the Woods, 9 Liars. Read all of these. One more is at least coming out, if not more. This one ended on a bit of a cliffhanger, and it was more focused on the toxic relationship of the main character rather than the mystery, which I thought was really disappointing, and I hope she goes back to doing this, which is cozy mysteries out in the woods. We have some more mysteries. I'll just go from this side. We have the Tokyo Zodiac Murders. We have Nagasaki, which I've actually read, and it's about this like sad lonely man, and he finds out that someone's like living in his house without him knowing. The couple at the table, it's supposed to be like they're on a honeymoon type thing, anniversary, and someone's like killing someone. It sounded good. We have The Appeal and the Twyford Code, Twyford. I read The Appeal, not the other one. They're written in kind of like email format, so you're kind of like solving a case and you get kind of like case files essentially. A Slow Fire Burning by Paula Hawkins. I kind of just bought this because it was on a sale. And Keep You Close. I bought these because it was like buy one get one half price. They're just cute mysteries. The Silent Dead, and then I've got the Richard Osman, which I'm mixed about this series, but I'm willing to give it another chance. We have The Thursday Murder Club, The Man Who Died Twice, and The Bullet That Missed, and there are some more books coming out in this series, and it's about some pensioners solving crimes. I was filming yesterday and forgot just about a whole section of my bookshelf, so I'm just gonna kind of add that in here. I've got Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, which I decided to save from my declutter, and I have 3 other books that I'm planning on saving, I think. We have Stay Sexy and Don't Get Murdered by Karen and Georgia from My Favorite Murder, which was a podcast that got me into podcasts when I was on holiday, and I just really loved the book. We have Spin the Dawn. This is on the chopping block, and Among the Beasts and Briars is on the chopping block for a declutter. So if you have anything to say about those 2 books, say your piece now. We have Scythe, Thunderhead and The Toll. I've read Scythe and Thunderhead and I loved them. I loved Scythe more than Thunderhead, and I've attempted to read The Toll about 10 times now. I'm struggling so much. I don't know if it's just me, I don't know why, but I am. We also have The Bear and the Nightingale, The Girl in the Tower and The Winter of the Witch, which is a trilogy, and it was so difficult to find the middle book in the UK, the middle book, and now I just almost don't, I just can't be bothered to read it. So if you guys love this trilogy, this one, let me know, otherwise it's on the chopping block. And then we have V.E. Schwab mainly, well, only. We have the Darker Shade of Magic series, so Darker Shade of Magic, Gathering of Shadows and Conjuring of Light. I've read 1 and 2, didn't read 3, and I've forgotten what happened in 1 and 2, so I'd have to reread them to read this, which as you can see is just a whole like barrier of entry, right? And then we have The Savage Song, which is I believe part 1 of a duology. I haven't got around to it because I wanted to finish this before I get another one of V. Schwab stuff, and then I just ended up not getting anything done. And we have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. Didn't read this and did not read these 2. There's Vicious and Vengeful, so I need some inspiration to get into V. Schwab again, and just fantasy in general. I think that's the issue, is just the fantasy in general. Now there are 3 books that might be entering the shelf, so like, does that fit? Kind of. We've got The Raven Boys. I've heard great things, might give it a go. We have Red Rising, also heard great things, might give it a go. I found these under my bed when I was just like sorting out. And Heartless by Marissa Meyer, might also give this a go and put this back on the shelf for now. Okay, so now we have some graphic novels. We have the Witch graphic novels. If you guys don't know, I'm obsessed with the series. I was obsessed with it as a child and I'm obsessed with it now. We have all the way from 1 through to 29, and I just ordered the 2 more that came out, which is 30 and 31, so that will go here. And then we have these 2 funny books that I got from Urban Outfitters. One's just Fun Facts About Sex, and one's Position of the Day playbook. Just really funny books I found in Urban Outfitters. I don't know if they're still there, but fun purchase. We have The Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell. It's like a non-fiction book. I don't think I'm going to read it, but I just kept it for now just in case. And it's about kind of how there's like a tipping point where everyone starts doing something, and just discusses like herd mentality and tipping point. I don't know. Divergent. I didn't keep the other 2 books because I thought they were trash, even at the time when I read them, but I kept Divergent because it's good memories for when I used to read when I was like 13, 14. And also the Hunger Games series. This is the original, these are like the original books, I didn't repurchase them. These are the original ones that I read as a child. Not a child, like a young teen. And I fell in love with reading again. Like I used to read a lot of books as a kid, and then I kind of stopped for a bit, and then these kind of brought me back into reading. And here we are. And then we have the Death Note Black Edition. I've read through like 4 of these, I'm pretty sure, or 5. So I just need to finish that. And that is really it. Those are all my books. The declutter's probably already posted, so watch that if you want to know what books I've decluttered from this collection. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.